Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
We are the champions.
Are we? Are we? Yeah, this is perfect.
Everybody, what is good? Sean and Brad, the A and B show, in your ears, bouncing around. Here we are. You can see from the background, beautiful sunny day here in the P&W. We are at Whidbey Island. My name is Brad Tesh, and as always, my co-host Sean Valancourt is in the building.
In the hizzy!
Friends, we haven't seen you for a while. We've been on a bit of just jockeying around and getting used to the new normal and whatever. It's because we can, reach out and
literally
touch
each other here.
So, but here we are, and we're back. Don't think we don't love you. We want to be here for this. Sean even did his hair for today, so you guys can check it out.
I did.
I think he watched Elvis when he fell asleep last night, but it is what it is.
But straight up, I think Brad took the good side, because this is the bad side of my hair, I think, quite honestly.
It's no lies, folks. No lies. I sat here strategically just for this moment. Sean, God bless you. How are you?
Dude, I am good. I feel bad for the fans, for the people that are tuning in. I've actually had a lot of messages from people like, hey, when are you recording your next episode? Well, it's happening now. Apologies. Life gets in the way. Sometimes you just got to roll with it, though, right?
That's how it rolls. You want to know, it reminded me of the funniest thing. My 11-year-old son has recently discovered podcasting. And so...
Podcasting or pond?
Just podcasting.
Oh, okay.
Just that we can... Not fishing yet. He's too into technology.
Yeah.
But he realized that we have a podcast, and he found us on Apple Podcasts, which, friends, is where you can find us along with everywhere else. And last week he was like, hey, he's like, what's up with the new episode? You haven't posted anything since the 16th. And I was like, hey, stop listening to my episodes.
Yeah. Hey, man, was it William? Thanks again. He just ended up messaging me like, hey, I'm out of podcasts. I need a new podcast.
Well, William, we will not disappoint you today.
Yeah, so
I've been saving some things to say to Sean.
Dude, man. Okay, so first off, I just want to recap, all right? I called the Leafs. I called the Kraken. I called them.
Okay.
Me. Yeah. I got Boston wrong, but it doesn't surprise me that Florida is doing what they're doing. They've been playing playoff hockey since February. Just think about it. They've been playing elimination playoff hockey since February, and Bobrovsky's on a bit of a tear. It doesn't surprise me what they're doing. The Edmonton-Vegas series is quite entertaining.
Yeah. Maybe the best series going if you don't care about allegiances to your team, right?
Well, that's it. And quite honestly, I mean, if the Leafs get knocked out, I'm all in hard on Edmonton then, because it's the last Canadian team. I mean, it's going to be hard, though. I was really hoping that it was going to be a Seattle-Toronto Stanley Cup Finals, and I would have actually dropped some coin to go see that, because how often can you say you've been to a Stanley Cup Finals in Seattle cheering for the Leafs? How often can you say
never.
that? Exactly.
And not in Seattle since like 1918. Did you know that Seattle, our first NHL franchise, which was the first franchise in the United States to win the Stanley Cup?
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. The Seattle Metropolitans. Yeah.
I wish I had known that. I've been a bigger fan of the Metropolitans when they were naming the team. So I was like, why don't we go with that old... Find on the history. Anyway.
Dude, I told you that they won the cup.
I'll listen to you. Anyway.
And this is what you have missed.
That's how it goes.
So, I mean, quite honestly, there's been so much happening in sports, but I really just want to concentrate on the current playoff picture that's happening right now.
Okay.
The biggest surprises and the biggest upsets that are happening right now in both NBA and NHL.
Sounds great.
So, do you want to kick off with the NBA?
Let's get to it.
Let's do it.
Sean, have you been paying attention to the NBA at all?
I have.
Okay.
I have.
There's been some fantastic games.
Extremely.
There's been some better series.
Yeah.
You know how I feel about, like, you can't say Jimmy Butler is a spoiler, like your favorite moment because I told you that was going to happen, right?
Dude,
I told you playoff Jimmy Butler was coming to get it.
He's something else. I mean, to take out the number 1 seed. But
almost single-handedly.
Yeah.
Losing Tyler Herro.
I mean, the Bucks got problems. I mean, you can't just put everything on Giannis.
You know what's this brings the personal side of sports in. I didn't know this; it wasn't widely reported, but I have to believe that the Bucks organization knew this. This is the coach of the Bucks, Mike Buckholzer, or the former coach, we should say.
Yeah, they released him, right?
They fired him.
Yeah.
His brother died in a car accident during the series.
That's terrible.
They fired him for non-performing.
That's terrible.
Anyway.
But, that seems like a Milwaukee thing. I don't know. It's like...
Milwaukee's best my ass.
Yeah, that seems like a Milwaukee thing. I don't think Milwaukee's going to see a championship for a long time. Buckholzer, he was just the coach of the year not even that long ago.
Now he's qualified to coach the Pistons.
Yeah. What about Nick Nurse? I mean, he was fired as well. I don't know where he's going to end up.
Yeah, but he'll land on his feet.
I'm sure. I mean, he's going to get another NBA contract. But I mean, quite honestly though, I don't care about the Raptors or Nick Nurse right now.
So what is your surprise of the NBA playoffs this year?
The Knicks were surprising. I thought Cleveland was going to take it to them. They really look good. Phoenix now being eliminated and quite handily as well. I mean,
the last 2 games were. The first couple of games were fun, right?
Yeah.
And then,
handily. And this is
in an elimination game. You've got 2 superstars, right? And Devin Booker and Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Healthy.
Yeah.
And you're going to go out by 25 in an elimination game?
Yeah. But that shows you. I mean, Durant comes over over halfway through the season.
Right.
There's no real chemistry.
Not healthy.
No, and you can see they're not passing to Durant or using Durant the way that they should be using Durant.
Yeah.
He's kind of just a.
Maybe that's where Nick Nurse ends up. I think Monty Williams is out.
It could be. I mean, it's embarrassing that you got eliminated. But I mean, you're also going up against a superstar Bucks team who I still think.
Or the Nuggets, if you're fact checking.
I'm sorry, the Nuggets. Jokic, who did not get the MVP, Embiid did. I mean, wouldn't this be an argument that he deserved a third one? He's in the conference finals.
Yeah.
And he's going to face, I'm pretty sure it's going to be the Lakers. I'm pretty sure about that.
So, fans, for the folks listening at home, today is the day we see Game 6 for the Warriors and Lakers.
Game 6 for the Warriors and the Lakers.
And also Game 6 for the Heat and the Knicks.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
And is it Game 5 for the Leafs? Or is that tomorrow?
This is Game 5 for the Leafs.
Tonight?
Yeah. Tonight is Game 5.
Skipping forward a second, how nervous are you for the Leafs Game 5?
All right, I got to tell you something. So, here's the things that I noticed from the last game. And it's an impossible feat to do that, but they were blocking shots like crazy. I don't know if you saw the amount of shots blocked. It was something like 20, 22.
You know that I'm a dignified trash talker, so I watch the things that I talk about.
Yeah. So, the thing is that to beat Bobrovsky, those are the goals you got to get. These bouncy, jerky goals. The guy's locked in. But Wall came in, and I already knew Wall was good. He only has 12 NHL starts in his whole entire career. But sometimes, a guy like that, you have no tape on, can trip you all up in a playoff series.
And he doesn't know better.
No, he doesn't. And, I mean, I thought Samsonov was playing his best game in Game 3, and then Luke Shen took him out. And, but then Luke Shen really came out there. He made one terrific stop. I don't know if you saw that centering. No, when, was it Tkachuk that had the puck and he was dangling it? Looked like he was about to take it over and then shoot it on. And you saw Luke Shen just come and just swat and just take that puck off of his stick. I thought that was a game saver because Tkachuk is on it. The Panthers, man, they look locked in. I mean, that is a good team. No matter which way you cut it, you beat the Boston Bruins. But I think people can be shocked about the Bruins.
Well, what do we know about sports, though, right, is that usually if you knock off the perennial favorite or the perceived favorite, you've got some juice in your drawers now. You can go out firing.
Yeah, but
they're on a heater right now, and who knows where that ends.
Like here's the thing, is that so two things I want to say to that is that for the past, I think, 4 seasons, the President's Cup trophy winners, which are the number 1 team in the league, has been eliminated first round. Like, it's just like a curse to get.
Because the regular season doesn't matter.
That's exactly it. Secondly, Boston performed a historic season, but quite honestly, I think that they were overrated as far as just in net minding. As far as their goaltending is concerned, those 2 guys are young, right? So you put some pressure.
Who was more of a disappointment, the 116 win Mariners or the Boston Bruins this year?
I'd say you have to say that's equal. I mean, that's as equal as it gets. You have 2 top performing teams getting eliminated, like Mariners in the wild card and the Bruins in the first round. I mean, how else are you going to look at that? You thought to yourself, and now you have such an old team that team's going to get dismantled. You're going to see that coming up very shortly. And so, congratulations, Boston. You had the best season ever. Nothing else. That's great. I love it.
Celtics might still be in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. When you look at Florida, the way that they had to play in order to make it to the Stanley Cup Finals reminds me of the Blues back in 2019, where the Blues were out of a playoff spot ridiculously. I think they were in the bottom of the league, and they just had to pull out a tear in order to make the playoffs. They made it in at like the 8th seed in the West and won the cup because they were playing playoff hockey from January. And there's something to be said about that, is that you're there, you're already playing that kind of gritty hockey. I mean, here's the thing, the Leafs came out, and honestly, it took you 4 games to get your top core 4 to start scoring.
Right.
It's like you saw the way the Florida was playing. They were all like, everybody was just crowding the whole entire lanes so that no shots are going through. These guys have no clean looks.
Why don't people just play away all the time? I've seen that so much in the playoffs.
That's the way it is.
I was channeling my inner Deion Sanders there wearing glasses.
Yeah.
Why don't they just do that?
Because the regular season's 82 games. And the thing is, I don't know if you've been looking at these things, but Achari, I think he's playing with a broken wrist. Did you see in Minnesota, I forget who the player's name was, he was playing on a broken leg. I mean, these guys are playing with serious injuries, and because it is the playoffs, you're going to keep coming out there. Chara played in the Stanley Cup Finals with a broken jaw. When you have a look at it, this is the thing I really do like about ESPN, their feed. I used to be just all about the Canadian feed, watching it. ESPN is putting out a product that I am so enamored with. When I have a look at that, and I see that they're showing the speed of the puck being shot in, and you realize now that this is coming at 89, 90, 100 miles per hour, right? And then you have Dink and Dunk, whoever, just everybody blocking shots. And people think that, these hockey players are full of all pads. It's like, no. The padding is minimal. You have covering really in your shoulders, maybe a little bit on your elbow. You got down here back here, and then you have your hockey pants. You got a little padding on that, a little bit on the shins, okay, and a little bit on the knees, and your skates are there. But there's so many open spots. When these guys are taking shots, man, some of them are actually hitting arm, they're hitting bone. You have a look at the gloves; they're minimal as well. If that puck comes,
the gloves are the worst.
Oh, how can you say these guys are tough son of a guns, and it's just like they're just out there performing every night trying to win a game, and it doesn't matter, superstar or not. I saw Austin Matthews going to block a shot. So I mean, like, superstar or not, you're blocking shots.
Because they want to win.
That's exactly it.
It's easy.
And it's but that's the thing, is like with the NBA, I saw Kawhi Leonard in the first round in street clothes. And I know that his sister was just arrested for murder, if I'm not mistaken there.
Not just, but yes.
Yeah. And I'm sure that had something to play with that there. But street clothes Kawhi is a bad look. I mean, you're never going to win with the Clippers like that when you have Paul George injured, Kawhi out.
How about Anthony Davis going off the court in a wheelchair?
That's crazy. That's crazy right there.
Reminds me when Paul Pierce shit his pants and had to get carried off in a wheelchair, then came back like he was Willis Reed. Remember that?
But here's the thing, though. Anthony Davis has showed up in these playoffs for the Lakers.
In the games they've won. In the games they've lost, he is not showing
That's exactly it. And that's the thing, is that the Lakers go how Anthony Davis goes. It's no longer the LeBron story, right? Yeah. And Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green, they're going to do what they do, right? But you can see that this is probably the Lakers and the Warriors. It's probably going to go to 7. I think the Lakers will pull it out, but you know, I do. I think the Lakers will pull it out. Just as I think Boston's going to pull it out. I think Boston.
I think you're right there. I think Boston comes out of the East.
Yeah, I think Boston pulls that out. I think Miami will be the next round, and then it gets interesting. Yeah. Because then I think to myself that it's Denver's got Los Angeles. I do think that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like completely. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be so bold as to say that Denver is probably going to win it all this year. That's how bold I'm going to be. I mean, these guys are they're on a run right now.
Yeah,
they're on.
Not real sure how picking the number 1 seed in the West is bold, but I'll take it.
Well, I mean, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but still, you know, I'm sure the people with the betting lines are probably still going Philadelphia or Philadelphia or the Lakers or
Boston was pretty high up there.
Boston,
yeah. Earlier this week, Boston was like a 39% chance favorite still. Then they lost the game, so who knows how it shakes out. But
yeah. No, it's interesting. I mean, and honestly, I mean, you know, James Harden comes out, shoots 45. Next day, he comes out, shoots 18. I mean, you just don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know. So
same with Embiid. It's interesting to watch to see how healthy he really is or can stay.
Well, I mean, you know, he did twist his ankle. The thing is that here's the thing with Joel Embiid is like you see that he might be maturing into the player. Like I remember when he played the Raptors and he was so immature at that point. He's starting to mature, but he needs to be better. Tatum was shooting like a goose egg. I think he got 1 for 14 in the first half, and then turned it on after that.
Yeah.
So, you know, like those guys.
Similar to what we saw in the finals last year.
Yeah.
With Tatum.
Yeah. You know, it's like everybody's been saying that Tatum, earmarking Tatum for greatness. I think he's a great player, don't get me wrong. But he's still young and he's still figuring it out. I think once he figures it all out and he can be consistent on that, I think the Celtics are unstoppable.
No.
I do. So we'll have to see there. What about you? What say you? I've been doing a lot of talking here.
You've been doing all the talking.
Yeah.
I would say the surprise for me in the NBA is the Lakers. I didn't, you
didn't think so.
I didn't think they'd come this far.
Wow.
I wondered how the John Morant situation was going to play out in Memphis, and it seemed to play itself into a, early exit for them.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I think it's been pretty straightforward from the, how I thought it would go.
Yeah.
Interesting to see there. And then with hockey, I think the Kraken are, a surprise to me.
I think they're a surprise to everybody.
Beating
you beat the Stanley Cup champions,
Colorado, as they did, and on the road.
Yes,
we won that series on the road.
Grubauer all of a sudden is a goaltender.
Yeah, let me start on that. Was right, fantastic in the first round, closed all that down, comes in against Dallas, plays well in game 1. We get the win, plays okay in game 2, get the loss, plays well again, we get it, and then all of a sudden the wheels fall off. And you could tell they saw something on film going into game 4. We should have had a stranglehold in that series, in my opinion, but he just got walked over the left shoulder 4 times.
Yeah.
Can't have it.
No.
Last night, game 5, 2 goals on 4 shots, at home.
It was pretty bad.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
Can't do it. So
Seattle's playing tonight too, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I'm sorry, he had those goals on the road. Yeah, but they're not. They play at home on Saturday night, tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So the thing is that I stated this, that Seattle has the most 30-point players out of anybody in the NHL team. In the regular season, they had the most even strength goals. They're a good hockey team.
We would rather not be on the power play, to be honest with you. The power play is
Yeah. But here's the thing: is
you
that
decline penalties. I think they should.
I mean, Jake Ottinger is a great goaltender there in Dallas.
Yeah, but he was getting worked. And here's the thing: I think that in respect to the Kraken that's going on, is that McCann got hurt in the Colorado series, right? Jared McCann, he was one of our leading scorers, if not the leading scorer. He finally was able to come back in game 4, and they start him on the 4th line to try to manage his minutes. Yeah. But they also took Donato, who was also a first-line starter, and put him on the 4, and they just looked discombobulated from the jump. Got down too far. Same thing last night. I think there's some chemistry issues in shifting around those lines that just aren't quite working. But,
I think
goaltending has been a problem.
Yeah.
You can't give up 2 goals on 4 shots, no matter who you are.
Yeah, the thing
in the first period, Sean, come on, 2 goals and 4 shots.
Yeah, I mean that happens actually quite a lot, and then all of a sudden you have to go to shutdown mode, right? So
we should have been in shutdown mode. You strangled the series.
You saw Bobrovsky in game 2, like he was shellacked there already, 2-0, and I think there was like 5 shots on him. But then he went into shutdown mode. Yeah,
well, Philip didn't last night. We had a shot. They started actually scoring goals and got sent it back into it, and then he gave a backbreaker, and then.
Listen, I got to say this right now, though. Bobrovsky is surprising the heck out of me. Like, I knew that he was a great goaltender. He was a Vezina Trophy winner. He left Columbus when they did that whole entire elimination of Tampa. Mm-hmm. He left Columbus then, ended up going over to Florida. Right, signed the big money, and really wasn't producing. Well, all of a sudden, I'm looking at this guy, and he is locked in. Like, there's something. Yeah. It used to be French Canadian goaltenders, and now it's Russian.
That's
goaltenders.
What you would tell me. It's his name sounds like a Russian dish.
Oh yeah.
Earlier when he said beat Boriskovsky or whatever his name was, I thought, that sounds like something you'd order at a restaurant.
That's it.
Got beets in it, like a nice gravy, some noodles, some chunks of meat, some identified meat in there.
Yeah, Bobrovsky.
Beet Bobrovsky. Would you order beet Bobrovsky? I think you would.
The only French Canadian goaltenders in Vegas right now, and Skinner. The kid from Edmonton, he's young.
Yeah,
Does it surprise you that one game Leon Draisaitl gets 4 goals, the next game him and McDavid are off the score sheet altogether?
Yeah.
Then the game after that they're back on.
I didn't know if it was a trend or not, but it seems to be multiple goal scorers in every game this year.
Yes.
It's very interesting.
Did you notice that too, right? Like Langenskog with 4.
Domi had in their night for the Leafs, and one of them was obviously an empty netter that he scored in, but still he had 2 goals in a game. What are we doing here?
Domi for the Leafs.
No, for the Stars.
Oh, okay. All right.
Do we agree that the Stars have the dumbest team name in sports?
No, because they stole it. They stole it. They stole it from Minnesota. It was the Minnesota North Stars. Who's dumber?
Yeah.
Well, first off, Seattle's got the Kraken has the worst. What do you call it?
Mascot. I didn't ask you mascot. I asked name.
The worst name. It's definitely not the Dallas Stars.
Let's go Stars. That's your chant. Go Stars, go.
Yeah, it is what.
Fired up Stars.
I mean, to me, the worst name. I think. I don't know. Is there any bad names in hockey?
Yeah, Stars.
I don't know. I mean, the Canucks are pretty sad.
Yeah, it's a slur, though, right?
It's like Canucks.
You can say it, I can't.
The Canucks. Who else there? I mean, the Ducks. I mean, that's pretty sad. Yeah. I think that's actually worse.
Based off a movie.
Yeah, I think that's worse than the
Stars.
At
least you can quack.
Emilio Estevez.
The Shooting Stars.
All right. Did you see that the Blackhawks got the Connor Bedard sweepstakes? Did you see that?
Chicago is the name that you have to pronunciate clearly.
Yeah. So I was talking to a buddy of mine, And we're there just going off, because I heard one of the announcers there on ESPN going that he thinks that the Canadians are going to get the number 1 pick. And I'm like, this guy's high as anything. And so I was talking to my buddy, and we're talking, and I'm there going, man, I would love it if you were to go to Columbus, Anaheim, And he goes, no, I think there's going to be something happening, and he's going to go to the Blackhawks because Chicago is too much of a storied team to not have somebody, like, they can't be in the basement for like the last time that they were in the basement. So it's just funny that they got him.
That's the conspiracy, is that they railed it so that Chicago got the first pick?
Man, they got 3 Stanley Cups not even that long ago, and now they're a toilet team. It's like...
Well, I mean, it means they're the number 1 pick, though, right?
Yeah, and for a generational player. All right. Who do you think is advancing to the Cup Finals? Because this is the thing. With hockey, I find it very difficult to call.
Yeah, I think that Florida has a really clean path because they just have to win 1 out of the next 3.
You don't think a reverse sweep is happening?
Maybe. They could. I'm just saying they have a good path. I didn't say it's going to happen. I didn't choose them.
I didn't know if you saw what I put up on the A&B.
I just saw as soon as it said, it's funny because it's true, go leave skill, and I thought, I don't care.
You didn't see that? It was like Jim Carrey's face there. You're saying we got a chance. I mean, come on.
Yeah, you have a chance.
It's brilliant.
They just have a great path.
Yeah.
You will win 1 out of 3.
That's true. You have to win
advance.
1. That's exactly
Okay.
it. And quite honestly, I mean, the Leafs have to play that brand of hockey again tonight.
Again, for the rest of the way.
For like the rest of the way. That's exactly it.
The next 3 games.
Yeah, they have to play that brand of hockey.
And maybe.
Yeah.
Right?
But, don't forget, too, that the Leafs are a great team. As far as their talent, as far as who they have on that roster, they're a very good team.
Their coach just sucks. Or maybe it's your GM.
So, yeah, Sheldon Keefe.
Yeah, that's the guy's name. You never trust anyone named Sheldon.
So he used to be the head coach of the Pembroke Lumber Kings, so I have a little soft spot in my heart for him there. But I would have rather that Doug Gilmour would have taken.
You know a lot of Sheldons in your life?
No.
Do you trust any Sheldons? You shouldn't.
No. Yeah. I know a few Daves.
Yeah.
These are the Daves I know. These are the Daves I know.
Dave's not here.
Some of them are David. Most of them are Daves.
Now we have that settled. I think that Edmonton. I would tell you, if a wish list for me would be that Seattle advances and Las Vegas advances.
That's your wish list.
But it's only because I could go to a lot more games.
Yeah, but if Edmonton advances, which I actually do think Edmonton will advance beyond Vegas, because again,
I agree,
a great team.
Yeah.
And then I think Seattle got a chance against Dallas. Why not?
I think if they can win at home on Sunday, which they have to, or Saturday, if they can win at home, I like them in Game 7.
Yeah.
Because they've got to rip Dallas's heart out, but
that's exactly it. I think they got a chance. I mean, don't forget, like, Dallas did go to the Stanley Cup Finals not that long ago. So
yeah, I just think when you look at it on ice, when you look at the comparison, when Seattle is playing well, it doesn't matter what Dallas does. When Seattle's discombobulated and Dallas is playing well, Dallas scores.
Yeah.
So when Seattle's at full strength,
dude, I am so proud of you right now. You're talking hockey at such a highly educated level right now, man. It's like when we started on the 16th, it was like you and Tony there just were just like hockey. You're talking right now like a bona fide Don Cherry.
The things that happen to me during the playoffs when my teams are involved are spectacular. Okay? That's all you need to know. If you want me to know about a team, I either need 20 years like I've had, with the Mariners to learn the rules and get the ins and outs, or the Seahawks. Or they've got to go on a playoff run. And then I know it all.
Then you know it all.
I'm paying attention because I care.
That's it. Man,
That's what's hard with all these games, with the length of the season. It's so hard to lock into every regular season game and pick up all the intricacies. But when you're watching a series, man,
I'm going to tell you, the first round I couldn't watch for the Leafs It was
believe
it was so like I just couldn't. I would follow it on the phone.
I could tell because I would send you messages and you wouldn't respond.
No,
Man, Sean's ghosting me.
Yeah, no. I literally could not watch it. I started watching this series, and then I feel that maybe it's me. Me watching. Me watching.
Did you watch the first 3 games?
Yeah. So me watching is the problem.
Toronto, we figured it out.
Like I'm there going, this is crazy.
Sean's the new Drake.
You know? Like I even wore a Blue Jays jersey to try to break it, and we went through the first round. I put it on my Leaf stuff. That was it. You know.
I'm not wearing hockey gear right now.
It's hot.
Well, I just mean like even the t-shirts. Like I'm just not.
Why?
I feel like it's backwards.
You're so weird. Okay.
Same thing, right? I wore a Kraken beanie a couple weekends ago when the playoffs first started, thinking they were going to win. They lost that night. I was like, never again.
Never again. There we go.
Not for this playoff series.
There we go. Hey, Seattle did great in the NFL draft. I think
They did.
they drafted so well. I thought it's like
Interesting.
I think that the team is going to look better.
The receiver we got out of Ohio State, Jackson Smith. I couldn't pronounce his last name.
I was surprised about another wide receiver.
Best available. And you think about what we need. Tyler Lockett's way better on the slot than he needs to be. We need another outside receiver.
Yeah. Cornerback
And he
in
was
the
there.
first round was perfect. I thought that was a great pick.
It's a Pete Carroll pick.
Yeah. That was perfect.
Now you have this runner up to the rookie of the year.
Yeah.
And Pro Bowl cornerback Tariq Woolen on one side.
Yeah.
And now you have Witherspoon on the other side, and then you've got Kobe Bryant in the slot. Man.
Yeah. No, I think Seattle.
Easy day.
Yeah, I think Seattle's going to look a lot better.
Yeah.
And you have to. I mean.
And then really address some great line, both offensively and defensively later in the draft, right?
Yeah.
And so I think they hit on a lot of different spots.
Yeah, because you got to keep up with the Niners. I mean, it's as simple as that. Garoppolo as a Raider. Interesting. Yeah.
The schedule's out. I don't know if you've seen the schedule or not, but the 49ers come to Seattle on Thanksgiving this year. So,
wow.
Thank you to the schedule makers for ruining my life.
Hey, what did you think of the number 1 pick and the number 2 pick in the NFL draft?
I thought that it was fascinating, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think the Texans really wanted Will Anderson.
Interesting.
And they would have taken him at 2, I think. But then they forced their hand by drafting, what's the kid from Bryce Young.
Yeah.
And then called and traded with Arizona to get back in at 3.
It was ridiculous.
When's the last time? Can you remember ever seeing a team pick twice in the top 5?
Yeah,
top 3 was standing, right?
Yeah.
Even top 5?
Yeah.
So crazy, right?
It's insane. I think the Texans just if they want to get better.
It was the surprise of the draft for me was that. I remember I was like, I was just kind of.
I'm sorry, did I say Texans? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't mean Texans.
Who'd you mean?
Who was the first pick there again?
Stroud to Carolina.
Yeah. So he was a Texans. I'm sorry. Yeah. I didn't mean the Texans.
You did?
Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was fascinating.
It was
a surprise for me.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting because, I mean, like, so these young guys like Carolina, I mean, obviously they have a lot on CJ Stroud, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting. Like the landscape in NFL, every time in the offseason with trades and everything like that, it always changes so drastically. Like now we're going to have to get used to Aaron Rodgers following the Brett Favre path there as a Jet. Got Randall Cobb coming over,
You know what's unfortunate for all of us maybe is that jorts are coming back into style.
Oh, jeez.
And the last time jorts were in style, Brett Favre was a New York Jet.
That's true.
If Aaron Rodgers starts wearing a wristwatch.
Are you saying that in the 2000s, jorts was still in style? Because I'm pretty sure that died somewhere in the 90s.
No, in the late 90s is when Brett Favre was taking pictures of himself and sending them to interns with his jorts on. You remember this scandal?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, if you ever see Aaron Rodgers with some jorts and wristwatch as a Jet, maybe look at his phone.
Man. And what do you think of...
The eyes you save could be your very own.
What do you think of Lamar Jackson, that whole entire saga.
I don't know what to think of it.
Why would you side with the team that sabotaged you?
Why would you drag it out that long if you're either side?
And then they paid him all that money. That's the other thing too.
They weren't going to pay him, and then they go all the way through the draft, and then they pay him.
And not even like they paid him. I don't think he's worth that.
They paid him what he wanted.
I know, but he's not worth it.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta pull this up for you.
He's not worth it.
Keep talking.
Jeez. That was the thing that blew my mind, is that he hasn't done anything yet. You've won an MVP. That's it. What have you done? What have you done for me lately to earn that kind of money?
Okay. This is the top 10 highest paid quarterbacks now.
He's number one.
No, he's not. Let me tell you this, okay? And I want you to tell me who... Oh, he is number one, you're right.
Yeah, he's number one.
What teams make the playoffs with these quarterbacks and these contracts? Number one, Lamar Jackson, the Ravens. Playoffs or no?
Possibly.
Jalen Hurts and the Eagles.
Yeah, definitely they make the playoffs.
Aaron Rodgers and the Jets.
Yeah, it could be. Could make the playoffs.
Russell Wilson and the Broncos.
This year, maybe? Maybe?
You don't sound very convinced.
No, I'm not very convinced.
Kyler Murray and the Cardinals.
Definitely not.
Deshaun Watson and the Browns.
Oh, dude. That's a whole nother saga.
Okay, I'm just asking. Playoffs or not?
I don't think the Browns are making the playoffs.
Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs?
Definitely.
Josh Allen and the Bills?
Definitely.
Okay. Matthew Stafford and the Rams?
No.
Prescott and the Cowboys?
I don't think this year.
Daniel Jones and the Giants?
Daniel Jones is up there? What?
Daniel Jones, Prescott, and Stafford are all tied at $40 million a year.
Wow. Wow. I can't believe he's getting that kind of money. I mean, Dable came in there, did his Dable thing. I don't know if they can repeat that. I don't know.
And the Jets have two quarterbacks in the top 20.
That's insane.
Between Zach Wilson and Aaron Rodgers.
That's insane.
But my point is, paying all this money doesn't guarantee you a playoff spot.
No.
Because I think there's 3 teams in the top 10 that are making the playoffs with their quarterback.
Yeah. That's ridiculous. That's crazy.
And then following them is Derek Carr and the Saints and Kirk Cousins and the Vikings.
Kirk Cousins is Kirk Cousins. Derek Carr, maybe that changes scenery. Who knows?
They had a couple of players for the Saints, so they don't have a great squad there.
They really don't.
So, I don't think they're making it. Anyway, that's what I think about Lamar. I can't believe...
Dude, they paid him all that money!
I can't believe either side caved and then they agreed.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable to me. And then he doesn't show up to the they had the
press conference?
Nope. No. He showed up there. They had the non-mandatory workouts.
He didn't show up.
Right? The optional workouts? Yeah. That didn't show up.
He was busy.
Last year he didn't show up because they wouldn't pay him. And he's like, I'm not going to get hurt and not get paid. They pay him and he's like, nah, I'm still busy.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
The world's crazy.
It is crazy. And you're paying people for really nothing. I mean, whatever. Good on you, Baltimore.
$51 million.
They got
in a salary cap sport.
They got Odell now, man. They got Beckham. They got OBJ.
Seriously? In all seriousness, I think that's the worst thing for Lamar Jackson off the field.
Oh yeah, the two of them partying it up somewhere. Oh my gosh!
With what Odell knows and what we know about Odell, you really want Lamar.
Yeah.
We don't know much about Lamar, right? He's been able to keep a pretty even, not real public persona.
Yeah.
But we've seen a lot of Odell.
Yeah, we have. Yeah. I am there going, okay, whatever, man. You sign Odell Beckham Jr. Listen, that guy is good for the playoffs, and that's about it. So, move on.
If he makes it, okay.
That's it.
Sean?
I'm watching for a trade before week 8.
Okay. Your mouth to God's ears. Send him to Buffalo. Sean, one-on-one, what do you got?
Man, I really have not been prepared. I guess the only thing I could think of, okay, so would you rather
Okay.
Would you rather take a charge from Joel Embiid
Okay.
or stop a Connor McDavid slap shot at 100 miles per hour?
With pads or without pads?
You can have your pads.
Yeah, I'll take the charge.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I'll take the charge.
That's starting to kill itself.
300-pound Joel Embiid running into you there.
Yeah. At least there's some pad on that shoulder. You know what I mean? Might like you get a slap shot, like get it right at the spleen.
I'm bleeding.
Just be laying there on the ice crying. Oh,
man. All right. You got one for me?
Yes. If you're watching at home, you can see I have some facial hair now because I bought into the playoff beard. Not sure how I feel about it because we're at the second round. As long as I've gone without shaving probably my entire life. The question, Sean, is can you trim a playoff beard down?
No. You cannot trim a playoff beard. What kind of, I mean, unless you're like, I don't know, one of those young kids there from the Leafs like Marner who probably has a hard time growing a beard. I don't know.
I have a hard time growing a beard, Sean. I'm just saying, can I trim this thing down or is it not the thing?
No, that thing gotta grow.
I read two schools of thought. One, you can trim it so that it's, proper.
Who told you that?
Fine. I mean, you're doing it.
You're American? Yeah, but whatever. I'm not going for a play. This is
Not
my
on
regular
the team.
beard.
Not on the team.
Yeah. I mean, if you're growing a playoff beard for your
Professional
team,
person. I haven't trimmed it at all. I just have edged it up and cleaned up the edges.
that's perfect. That's good. So the next round should
But
be
I
a little bit
also-
more bushier.
But I also read that if your team loses, you could do a little
Yeah, you can.
this to change the mojo.
Absolutely. You can.
You can give a little. I disagree. I think if you're in, you're in.
Yeah,
I don't mind
I
the
think so
edging.
too.
I just my own
Yeah.
thing was I could edge it up a little bit, but I'm
Yeah.
not.
I mean, to
I'll
me,
keep the flyers and all the.
I think you should grow a nice Joe Thornton beard.
I don't know what that is.
Joe Thornton, he retired. They're doing this just for men things. There, his beard is like.
Oh,
this.
yeah. I can't because my brother has a real ZZ Top feel today. I saw him the other day, and his beard's probably down to below his collarbone when he got his neck up.
What? He's all in.
All in.
Wow. Hey,
Okay.
man, this was great.
Always good to see you.
Yeah.
Always good to chat with you, hear your laugh. Folks, subscribe, like us, figure out where we are. Hi, Jackson. Thanks for listening. Till next time, kids. Be good or be good at it.
Right toe.